So my focus really is on this fellow named Deming for today. W. Edwards Deming worked for the United States government. He was a statistician, and this was in the early 40s. And World War II, as you know, December 7th, 1941 was Pearl Harbor. Prior to Pearl Harbor, we did not want to get involved. The war was raging in Europe, and the United States, not interested, don't want to go. Pearl Harbor happened, and we had to ramp up and be prepared immediately. So Deming, who by trade was a statistician, he worked for the NIST, National Institute for Standards. He told the powers that be, I know how to do this. If you want to get planes to fly, you want tanks to run, you want bombs to blow, I'm your guy. I will help ramp up the manufacturing for all of the equipment you need to prepare for the war, and I'll make sure it all works. So he introduced the government, the US government, to get the war machine ready. So, and we went to war fully equipped with everything we needed. So he's the one that came up with the whole how to get it done philosophy. He called it the system of profound knowledge. So what happened is war ends, and he comes back to American manufacturing, and he said, I will teach you everything. And in the US, they said, where else are you going to buy stuff? Europe was decimated, Japan was decimated, so they were not interested. They said, thank you, no thank you. So in 45, since everybody else was in shambles, the American companies had no competition. So nobody really thought much about quality. Why should they? The world bought everything that America was producing. So he said that was a total prescription for disaster. So what happened? The United States government, part of the reparations, war reparations, sent him to Japan. And in Japan, he worked with the government. And in Japan, they're not encumbered by democracy. So they don't have to run through Congress for things. The government just arranged for financing for any of the businesses that wanted to get up and running, for anyone that wanted to embrace this whole philosophy of building for quality. And so they did. And they took his work and they perfected it to what we call the Toyota production system, which is something that's being embraced around the country now, all these years later. We're talking, all these companies started this way back in the 40s.